I have no idea what date it is. I know it's Monday, that's about as far as I've got. And I'm about to model the Make Movement Your Mission tea towel. There you go. Catch uppers. That means go get yourself a tea towel, something tuggable. And I will kneel here patiently on one knee, waiting to see if someone's going to arrive. Oh, blimey. I clearly need to do a bit of gargling. I need to do some gargle practice. Miss Perry, got one of these. Got one of these. It's tuggable tea towel movement snack time. Does anyone know what the date is? Is it 6-ish, 5 or 6? I don't know. I'm really sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's 7. Andrew Scott, what's the date today, please? Chris is in, Miss P's in, and a few others are arrived. Come on. It's soon to be noon. It's soon to be... Come on, Ken. We got the power. We got the power. There's various tunes we could have gone with that. Thank you, Sue. It's the 7th of June. It is the 7th. But not that one. It's the 7th. Chris, crikey. Have I forgotten what I said 2 seconds ago again? Right. The good news is I know what the content of the movement snack is. The bad news is I know it's Monday, and now I know it's the 7th. But up until that point, I had no idea. Lost track of time. We got some grippy, powery, strengthy stuff today. So the noonday snacks, movement snacks, of course, movement snacks, generally take that kind of theme, functional things, functional moves, meaning the kind of movements we do in daily life already. Hang on a minute, we got a news flash from Dartmoor. News flash in Dartmoor. Did you say a sweatshirt or you got a sweatshirt, Sue, this morning? That's an exciting news flash if ever I heard it. Much more exciting than what I had planned for the preamble. Brackets. Crikey, do they really plan for the preamble? Clearly not. Right, what's the sweatshirt? Is it just a blue one? Crikey, I don't think we've got any other colours. Oh, I need to get my head in gear. Oh, sorry, Chris, you've got a tea towel, but not this one. Yes, okay. I know you lot are funny about keeping your tea towels pristine. I got this one. Ready for some happy Monday moves. That's good, Vivian. Thank you very much. We're always happy here. We may not be. We might look a bit confused sometimes with what day it is and what movement snack we're on, but we always know. We always have a cunning plan for the content of the movement snack. Didn't hear the note. Oh no, hoovering and ironing are not my favourite things. I've banned ironing. I've banned any mention of the blankety blank ironing word. I might add hoovering to that list, but I guess with a hairy dog, you've got a hoover. But I am at mum and dad's still at the minute, so I don't fight over the housework with them. Just to be clear, I do offer, but for some reason they don't want me to do it. Anyone else is there? I think we're there. Anything else to report, please, folks? Right, we got some grippy stuff with tea towels. We've got a bit of an ankle and wrists theme today. It's not exclusively ankles and wrists, but a bit more power focused today. And as I mentioned in my pre-message, power. We need power in our lives. We need to react if we take a stumble or have a trip or feel a bit wobbly. We need to move the feet very quickly. So we have these speed reactions that require power, fast reactions. Plus we need the strength that comes with that. And ankles and wrists are kind of either end of the extremities, aren't they? They're at the bottom and technically at the end. So they take a lot of stick from life, shall we say. So ankles and wrists, we need them in our lives. So a little bit of focus on those today. Any other comments or headlines before we get going? I think I've literally got 30 seconds before I go. We start every movement snack with a circulation boost, don't forget. So a little bit of boosting of blood around to all the moving parts. Get a bit of warmth in the muscles as well, get a bit of movement going, and then a little bit more focus on more kind of powery, grippy requirements of everyday life. Anyone else in? There's plenty of room. Come in, come in, come in. Sit or stand options. I'm going to do a 3-2-1 right now. 3-2-1. Good afternoon, Bex Townley from Later Life Training. It's rota change today, so I'm on the noons all week with a couple of anomalies, as we normally do. Myself, Dave and Kels have our regular day jobs, so that kind of means we need to shift and cover each other sometimes. So for now, let's get going. Now, not all of these moves will be for you, so have a look and select which ones you'd like to give a go at. I'll offer seated options for all of them, sit or stand, you choose. Have a tea towel close to hand. Let's start with circ boost. For this circ boost, can be done in sit or standing positions. As always, just check your area is clear before you get going, that you have some fixed, firm external support close to hand, either a table like this that isn't going anywhere, or depending how tall you are, of course, you might need something a little bit higher. Somewhere where you can reliably put that hand out to assist in feeling more confident if you should need. And of course you might prefer the seated options. Whichever which you prefer, let's get into position. So the seated position for the circ boost is active and away from the back of the chair. So you're supporting your trunks, not the chair. If you have intention to come up to stand, have a hip walk forward. But if you intend to remain in seated, then just get yourself comfortable but active through the centre. In seated, we're going to start with shoulder movements around this supported upright position of the trunk, like so. A little bit of left, a little bit of right. Start steady and stay steady. If you're in standing, then start that steady march from the legs. Here's the sit options for us today. Bring them together when you're ready. And it's rhythmical and comfortable, and we're just looking to boost the circulation. That's what these rhythmical, consistent movements will do. Comfortable size. By size, we refer to that as the range of motion that the joint here, the shoulder joints, are going through. Lower limb options, if you want them in seated, bring the feet back a little bit. You might want to pit stop just to relax the posture muscles, activate again, and then start to bring in the legs if you would like. Can you see how low the knees are? It's all about excuse me, what's actually happening at the ankle. So you're pushing the legs up almost rather than lifting, and then you can start to bring those together. So those are the seated options. Continue with that. Let me just put some prompts in for the stander uppers. If you're in stand, hopefully you're doing something that resembles this. This could be with or without support. Again, low level knees. It's really about activating the peeling off the feet, getting the ankles and the feet going around this supported upright posture. Could be with a single arm. You might feel that you're shifting left and right, or you might be comfortable to bring it together. So last few seconds of circ boost. There is nothing exciting about circ boost. We just get it done. Sometimes we just go, I mean, let's take today's preamble example. Who really wants to do the hoovering? Who really wants to do the ironing? Well, probably not, but we just get it done. It's the same with the circ boost. Just get it done. If you've been inactive for an hour or so, or you've been in the same position for a long period of time, just break that up, break that position, break the rut if you like, have a little bit of movement, a little bit of circ boost just to break up that sedentary time. Have a fidget almost. Just have a fidget, have a change of the posture and a little bit of movement. That's really the first point, the first start in a journey of increasing movement. Right, have we got stuff moving? We're going to make a start with wrists and grip. Now, before we go for the gripping stuff of the tea towel, we've just generally done some mobility work through shoulders and ankles, we've activated postures, but we probably haven't done any movements in the wrists here. So just ahead of a bit of grip work, you might just want to take some just steady wrist flex and extends here. You might want to take that on a long arm like so. Just these types of movements here. You might want to take some finger extensions and grip without an object. So just take some movement, take your wrists through a comfortable range of motion, just to get some movement before we now add a bit of tension. So there we go, let's add some tension. I'm going to come a little bit closer. You might be in sit or you might be in stand, but I'm going to come closer here. A couple of gripping wrists. Take your tea towel and make it a comfortable fatness. So we don't want it really too skinny. It might not be comfortable if it's really skinny. It might be more comfortable if it has a bit more bulk, something you can really get your hands around, give it a bit of bulk. Okay, relax the shoulders and just kind of set this relaxed position just in front here, like so. And stack the hands. And be be specific about the alignment of your wrists. So I'm not kind of cocking back or bending. My wrists are firm, like so. You can't really see. So I'm in this position. So I've got a firm wrist here, and just start to squeeze, head out of shot. Squeeze and release without anything happening to that wrist. So you're just building some tension through, obviously through the grip, but also through the forearms. Squeeze, but also release, fully release. Obviously still keeping a little bit of contact so that we don't lose the tea towel. So have a squeeze and a release. And the release is important, and you might want to make even more of that release. So you might want to squeeze this way, but release and actually extend the other way. So we need a kind of a grip and also to extend. We need both of those movements in daily life. And you might want to change hands, change upper and lower hand. Just take a pause, so squeeze and release. Can you feel the tension down in the forearms also? Then just have a complete relax. Just take a few shoulder rolls and a few shoulder blade squeezes just to mix up the movements again. And then we'll come back to gripping wrists. But this time we're gonna add something onto that. So we're going to take a light bit of tension, so not 100%, be comfortable with this. Can I just say, brackets, don't hold your breath. Are you breathing, everyone? So we're going to take a squeeze, but now keep the firm wrist position and bring the wrists together, so we're kind of here. So I'm still stacking the hands. I haven't bent my tea towel and my wrists are firm, so I'm bringing them together like so. So what you have is this type of movement. And can you see that my forearms and my wrists are still in alignment there? Break it up with these kind of periodic releases. Don't forget your extensors as well. So it's not just about the grip, it's about the letting go, the release and squeeze. Put in a few extra shoulder rolls and shoulder bladey squeezes in between, so that we're not doing loads of the same grippy stuff. So there's our squeeze and grip. One more progression from this that you hear from us is to take the squeeze, the turn, and then the pull apart. So just try to, as if you're looking to pull apart. Now, if you're using something that's stretchy, you are going to get a little bit more distance between there. Now, this is going to bring in other muscle movements around the shoulders also. So you'll feel that much more into the upper arms as well. After all that gripping stuff, just take a pause, release, have a little bit of that and just a little bit of release here. Check the shoulders haven't scrunched up, so crowbar in some extra arm marches. From wrists to ankles. So again, let's prepare the ankles for some strength movements. This could be in sit or in stand. If you're in stand, you might want to use some external support. We're not looking to challenge your balance here. Leave the balls of the feet behind and take some heel raises and squeezes. Try to get your toe hinges going here. Can you feel your calf muscles there squeezing as you push the heels up like so? You might want to just crowbar in some extra heel toe movements from our 8 AM mobility. Just get the movement going before we add a bit of gusto and a bit of power. So just take a couple of those either side. Could be in seated as well. Could be here. You might be in seated, but looking to improve your standing activities. So just put in a couple of mobility moves from the 8 AM in preparation for a bit of power work. So if you are in seated and you're on your feet at some point but looking to improve tolerance in standing, heels back and down, active through the centre, check your feet are hip width apart, and single heels, add a lift and a squeeze, but add a little bit of extra push on the way up. So you're adding a little bit of pace, a little bit of speed, which is essentially what power is. It's that strength times that speed. So in life generally we don't always move slowly. We need some power, we need some gusto for that movement to be more successful, especially in the case of reactive steps if we feel unsteady. So there's your seated power heel raises. And in stand it's the same. Take up some support. You might want to do singles just to check you're comfortable with the movement, but we're going to get a lot more power and strength behind that if we push the body weight up. So we're going to go for a power push and then a slower, lower and control. So the power element is the pace and the speed of that push up, and then the slower, lower, down. So we're just mixing up the pace and the speed of that movement to generate that power element, shall we say. And of course this movement, this pushing up the heels, we need this as a kind of push off stride. If we need the power to move quickly, we're going to need those ankles and those calves. Now in addition to the heels, we also need a bit of power in our shin muscles to clear the floor quickly when we walk. So seated option is this. Hip walk forward. Whenever we're going for toe lifting, toe raising movements, bring the feet slightly forwards. This will give you more movement to literally play with. Let me just quantify that. If my feet are back here, you're not going to be able to lift your toes up, are you? Because the angle is all wrong. So bringing the feet forward opens that potential for angle. And now we can just go for some toe pickups. Start with some slow ones and then just add in some pace. Kind of pull those toes back a little bit quicker. And you might want to take some quick, fast toe taps, and you'll really start to feel that muscles working in the front of the shin. We need these muscles. They pick up the toes when we walk. So that's the seated option. In stand, again, you need to decide how much external support is going to help you feel confident to do this. So again, take the foot slightly forward, pick up the toe. You could have the heel on the floor there and just pick up quickly, add a bit of pace like so. You could go into a bit of a single leg stand here and take a toe tap with pace and then put the foot down. Use the external support. It doesn't take many of these quick movements, lifting the toes, to really feel the shin muscles working. And again, just to reinforce, when we walk and move and step in multiple directions, we need to pick up the feet. So we've done heels, we've done toes. I'm going to take us now down to seated to do some ankle strength for our outsidey and insidey muscles around the ankle. So we've done the front of the shins, the back of the calves. But what about either side of those ankles for when we are on uneven surfaces? So we've done this one many times before. I'm going to come down to sit, hoping you can see my feet. You might want to get your towel, make it fatter, make it as fat as you can, and then just take a light hold there between your knees, just really light, just to really keep your focus on keeping the knees straight and not moving. Turn the toes slightly forward so you're a bit pigeon-toed, and then sweep out and up there. And it's your little toes coming out and up to the side. And can you feel now the muscles on the outside of your legs? So start these slow and ease them up, and then bring them back down. So little toes lead like so. And it will certainly help. Keep lifted and just have a glance down and watch that happen. You can start to watch, get more information and understand how those feet move. Now, that's your outsides. What about your insides, your innies? So for this one now, feet are parallel here, hip width, and now the big toe comes in and up. If I just turn slightly forward camera-wise, in and up, and then back to the beginning. And you might want to combine those, like kind of windscreen wipers, so you can go out to the sides, back to the centre, and then inside. And it might feel, it probably does feel quite intense. We very rarely really specifically consider these types of movements. Hopefully you can feel and see that we need these movements in everyday life for uneven surfaces, uneven stepping, reactive steps, so we don't only move forwards and backs, we move side to side as well. Now, all of that together with an ankle focus and a reactive step focus, what about quick feet, stomp stomps? So these are fairly low level, but quick, small but quick, single legs. Hopefully, not hopefully, if you can get the whole foot to do that, do so. If not, back on toes, back on heels. Could be a little bit of a drum roll with the feet here. Quick feet, same in stand, using this outside leg. Just take some small steps, stomp, stomp. Now, you will need to be aware of your floor surface here. If you're on carpet, you're going to need to pick the feet up a little bit higher. So these are small but quick, and quick reactive steps. So it's a kind of a stump to the side. Change legs to do that. You definitely use the outside leg here. So this inside leg is the supporting leg with the hand. Stomping in a few directions like so. We're literally rehearsing quick feet reactions. Okay, let's put in another upper limb one. You may be focusing on wrists and trunk and upper body. And the go-to strength and resistance movement here is going to involve either the shoulder blades for pulling activities, or the shoulder blades and the chest muscles for pushing activities. So I'm going to go for that upper back one again. We do that a lot in the movement snacks. I'm not apologising for the repetition. Palms up here, give it a bit of a snap, so you might want to practice some more gripping there. And then the pull back and release. You might have something stretchy, you might have a resistance band. Make sure if you do have something stretchy that your hands aren't coming too wide apart. The focus really is on that backward squeeze and pull. Can you feel your shoulder blades doing the work there? So having done the upper back and the pulling muscles there, we don't quite so much go for power on this one, more like a graded squeeze. Let's go the other way for push, and you might want to add a bit of gusto on the push, a little bit of a snap apart and a push there. And you also might want to take that at varying degrees and angles. We don't only push in one direction. Of course, all of that, we couldn't finish this kind of power, strengthy focused, this strength powered movement snack without leaving for a few jockey lifts or sit to stand. So hip walking forward, heels back and down, get some contractions, some speedy contractions through the buttocks, just to get yourself going. With the hip hinge, some power jockey lifts there. So a bit of gusto and a push. There's that power element there, that bit of speed. And if you're confident to push for the upward stand, but, we're coming down slower. So this movement, rising from a chair, is going to benefit from a bit of power on the upward. So a bit of gusto on the up. Get your balance, feel for the chair for safety, but slower on the way down. So power on the way up, slower on the way down is really going to get the legs and the thigh muscles and the buttocks into the best possible shape to complete this daily activity successfully. And I think, folks, that's it. That's your noonday. That's your noonday dose of movement with a bit of strength, with a bit of power. Crowbarred in. You have got Kaus at 4 p.m. today for a new sway. It's a new sway day with Kaus back at 4. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I'll sort the menu out and I'll promise I'll get the date right tomorrow. Until then, folks, bye for now.